Hey everybody, Poker Dad here. Uh, Today's video is a kind of session review of my session I just played on ACR at NL25. Just looking at my hands, this isn't really going to be a big breakdown of hands like a study session. It's more of just like um, kind of a short replay of my last session I just played. Just the hands that we saw the turn with. I don't want to put any just regular hands that are just pre-flop or even just flop. I wanted to at least just show the hands that saw the turn and beyond. So I kind of rather do this than show my ACR sessions, just because I don't know. I don't know, for some reason ACR I'm just not as comfortable showing my sessions on YouTube, and I think actually this is kind of better as well because we can go through it a little bit slower. There's not as much chaos going on having to show two screens. So if you like this kind of format, please let me know, and if you're interested in still seeing me show some live play video once in a while, let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. But anyway, let's just go through this. About 17 hands here, and I'm going to try and not make the video not be too long here. So, and also of course I'm masking all the names here as well. So here we can see I have King 2 suited in the small blind. It folds to me, and of course I'm going to definitely open King 2 here from the small blind, and we do get a call. So actually here I kind of messed up on the betting. Normally I'd make it 75 cents, but it was kind of a misclick. Anyway, here out of position, we got a rainbow board with a paired board. Now here I actually bet. This is actually a mistake, and I actually should have checked here, and my opponent does call. So this was actually a mistake. This is the kind of hand actually I would probably, I'm going to have to double check it, but I'm probably sure I'd probably want to be checking here out of position. I did take a look, and one of the places I am losing money is I am c-betting way too much out of position. Here now we land the flush draw though, so this is definitely a spot here I want to throw out a double barrel, and my opponent folds it. So don't like how I played the flop here, but obviously the the turn was the correct play. Okay, here from the middle position we have ace-10 offsuit. So of course I'm going to bump it up when we get a call from the big blind. And we whiff this board here. My opponent checks, and I'm definitely going to be checking back here. 10 comes out now, so we hit top pair, which is nice. Top pair, top kicker. My opponent throws out a bet, which is a pretty standard bet here. You know, he could be betting with a lot of cards. He could be just betting with any two cards. But of course we're going to call our top pair, top kicker. And a king comes out. He checks to me, and I'm just going to check back here. There really is no purpose in me betting here, and then he'll call with a better hand. I have showdown value, so no reason to try and bet and get value. We're never getting value from worse than tens here. And he shows us a pair of fours, so we take it down. Now we have 10-9 offsuit here in the big blind, and there is a raise from the button, so we are going to be calling from the big blind here with 10-9 offsuit. Pretty simple call. We do completely miss this board here. We are going to definitely check, and our opponent checks back. So now we hit a 9. This is definitely a good spot to throw out a probe bet here. Also, we also do have top pair as well. Definitely want to bet this here, and we don't want to check it in this spot. So we throw out a bet, and our opponent folds. I throw out just like a half pot bet here, since we did have a pair. If he would have called it, we would have checked the. We more likely would have checked the river here with the pair. But definitely want to place a bet there when he refuses to c-bet in this spot. Here we have Queen 6 from the small blind, so we're definitely going to raise that up, and we get a call from the big blind. Here we have a backdoor flush draw. Again, this spot here, I actually believe this was a mistake. Out of position, I'm going to want to be more c-betting my sets here. I could have some open-ended straight draws with some 5-6 here that I would want to be c-betting as well. I want to definitely be c-betting, my pairs. If I have like maybe ace ace seven, king seven suited. There are suited, suited hands I could, have here, suited pairs I'd rather be betting as well. And in terms of bluffs, I mean, we don't. The thing is, we don't have many bluffs here. So this is a hand I'm going to want to actually go back and review because we don't have any flush draws. Maybe queen six is a hand that I am going to want, and I think I did tag this. So I'm going to take a look at this hand later, if I should be c-betting this out of position or not, because there really aren't too many bluffs here that we can really have actually when I think about it. So maybe queen six here should be a bet since it is a rainbow board. I'm going to have to definitely take a look at that here. Anyway, our opponent calls us here, and our hand does not improve at all. So we check, our opponent bets, and this becomes, of course, an easy fold. Here we have 4-6. Of course, we're just going to take the free card since we're already in. Exercise our option. We're going to definitely check here as we have nothing. And I guess this is kind of a not interesting hand. All right. I should have taken that hand out. Took the hand out, but it's all right. Here we have ace nine offsuit from the cutoff. We're opening that up. Get a call from the small blind. And we have top pair here. Our opponent checks, and we're definitely just going to bet for value. I bet a little bit on the higher side, of course, with it being a heads-up pot. Getting value. Our opponent calls, and he checks again. We do decide to bet one more time, and he calls. And he checks one more time here. So I could either bet or I could check here. The problem is, maybe I'm getting a 10. Maybe I'm getting a 10 to call here. I have to suspect he's either on a 10 or an ace. But he could always have possibly ace jack is possible here that would call. You would think a hand like ace queen and ace king, of course, are going to 3-bet here. So I'm not sure if I really should have. I check back here. I'm not really sure if I should have thrown out a third barrel here and get his even worse aces to call, and to get his tens to call here. He shows us. He doesn't show us what he has, but we take down the pot. So I'm not really sure if I should have tried for a triple barrel here or not. I feel like this hand is kind of marginal with the ace nine, but again, I mean, ace 10. Ace 10. I feel like probably would have raised us on the turn, and same thing with if you had like a set of sevens, that's raising. So I mean, I knew we were clearly ahead here. So maybe I should have actually thrown out a third barrel. Maybe I just bet a little bit thin here and get a little bit more value for this hand. Button. We call with the nines. We could have definitely 3-bet him here, but this guy's not folding to 3-bets. So let's just call it, we check here, our opponent bets, and this is a hand I'm not really worried about a monotone board. Hitting flushes are hard enough here. He throws at a really big bet, but with second pair, even without a club, I'm definitely going to be calling this here, and we do. Queen comes out, so now I definitely will give up here if he bets. He doesn't bet. 5 comes out, so I could bet this here, but I really think the best play here is to check and hope he checks back. If he bets, we can fold. So we check, he checks back, and we take down the pot. Here we have king queen from the middle position. We throw out the bet. We get a really tiny raise from the button. So the button, as you can see, is super short stacked here. So that's going to play a part in this hand, the fact that he is really short stacked. I played this hand a little bit differently than I would if he was if he had 100 big blinds, but I mean, he's really short stacked here. We hit an open ender. Of course, I'm going to check. He bets. Now, normally this is something I would like to raise here, but the problem is this player to this point doesn't have any 3-bets, so I'm putting him on overpairs. When he's betting this board here, it's quite possible that he's got hands like queen queen plus here, or maybe even sets. So I don't think I'm getting him to fold in this spot, and I really risk the fact that he's so short stacked. I risk the fact that he's just going to shove me all in, and I really don't want that in it with an open ender. So I figure I can call here. Raising just I don't think would be the right play. We get a 6, so we unfortunately brick it. We check. He bets again, and again, this is the situation I thought about, and I actually ended up folding. And I think this was actually the wrong play. I think he gave me great odds to call. We had 24% pot odds to call, so actually I think this should have been a call. This is a hand I'm going to go back and look at again myself. The problem is with him not having a lot of money, it just really makes it kind of difficult. My only way I can win this hand here is going to end up being likely getting a straight, since it's more likely that he's sitting there with queen queen plus, or even he could have a set here as well. So I think the fold is the right play because of his stack size. Here we have king queen from the button. Right now we're three-handed. We raise it up and we go multi-way to the flop. We miss the flop here. It goes check check. 9 comes out, miss again. This guy bets, and of course we're gonna fold. Pretty easy hand. Here we get a limp from the let's see, from the middle position player. We're five-handed. We're definitely gonna 3-bet here with a king queen suited. That's not really a 3-bet. I mean, it's just really just a pre-flop raise here, obviously. Anyway, we go to the flop after the call, and we have top pair, so this is of course going to be an easy c-bet here in this spot. Definitely going to be c-betting our top pairs on this board out of position. Pretty much that's all we'd be c-betting, besides of course we'll be c-betting sets, and we'll be c-betting all of our queens here. Obviously our overpairs are going to be c-betting here. And we're going to be c-betting our flush draws, and we don't really have many straight draws. Maybe some gut shots like 9-10 here. We can c-bet here. So those types of hands, because we're out of position here, so we're going to be c-betting. We're going to be c-betting about 50% of my hands here. So anyway, opponent calls, and a 7 comes out. So definitely going to double barrel this one here. Bet about 3/4 pot, and our opponent calls again. And see no reason here not to triple barrel with our top pair. If he raises us, we could always fold. There really isn't much he can have here. Maybe he has like a weaker queen. Maybe he has something. Maybe he's calling us with an 8, or he could just have been calling with a flush draw, is always possible as well. So we definitely want to bet here. There's no reason not to bet. If we don't bet, and then he bets big into us, it puts us in an awkward spot. Just so much better c-betting here. So we bet again, 3/4 pot, and he folds it up. So good chance there that he's probably on a draw. Okay. Had to pause the video for a second. Excuse me for the cough. Okay, next hand. Here we have 10-9 suited from the under the gun. So here we open up the betting, of course, and again, this same guy, now he has a little bit more money here, does this weird tiny 3-bet. Again, this guy at this point had his only other 3-bet was, well, he has 2 3-bets now. So, but then neither one of them have gone to showdown. But again, I think these 3-bets to a play like this, he's only 3-bet twice in 135 hands. That these are the premiums, ace, 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 king, all of those hands. But anyway, I'm never folding in this spot versus kind of bet. And we flop a flush draw, which is great. So we check. He throws out a bet, again, probably with overcards is what I would think. So because of the fact that I know he's 3-betting, extremely tight, probably just with overcards, maybe ace king, but more likely with overcards here, throwing out a c-bet more than probably ace king. I'm not going to raise him here. If I raise him here, there's a very good chance he's just going to shove. So normally I'd like to raise here, but in this spot here, I'm actually just going to flat it. I do hit my flush on the turn, which is a beautiful thing. Again, I'm going to check out of position. And he throws out a turn C bet, and now is a clear just shove all in and assume that he might call, or maybe he'll fold, depending on what he's got. He does decide to call, and he reveals, of course, that he has pocket aces, which really wasn't a surprise to me. And we take down this pot. So I was very happy about that. And I was holding my breath, of course, when I saw he had ace of diamonds, just hoping that that a diamond didn't come out here on the river. But luckily it didn't. We didn't get sucked out on, because that would have been really annoying. And we took it down. So I just gotta have a drink of water here. Here we have King 9 offsuit from the button. Open it up. You get a call from the big blind. The same player. I actually only played one table this session, because I'm just trying to slow things down. I'm having a really, really bad month this month. So just trying to slow things down drastically in terms of just being able to concentrate and play my best A game, which is why you're only seeing one table here, by the way. So same opponent. Here we don't flop too well at all. He checks to us, and we're definitely going to check back here. 7 comes out, doesn't really help us, but once he checks again, I have no problem just really betting any 2 cards here to get a fold. I assume he, we probably have some pretty good fold equity here versus him, and he folds. And if he calls it, then that's fine. Then we could just give up. Here we have Ace King offsuit, and we of course are going to bet here. We get a 3 bet. Again, just such a tiny 3 bet from the button. The table was really weird. It was actually kind of a strange. It was very, very fishy table, to say the least. Here, this was his first. I think it was first 3 bet. Yeah, he only had one 3 bet. So, of course, I'm going to end up 4 betting him here, and he shoves all in. And this is one I got to look at to see if this is the correct call. I'm pretty sure it was the correct call. I figure he's 4 betting with like Jack plus here. Ace King, maybe Ace Queen suited, shoving all in, things like that. He was a short stack, so calling, of course, is definitely the right play here. I shouldn't say definitely, I think it is. I'm going to definitely take a look and just make sure. But as you can see, we did not pair the board, and he had jacks, so he takes it down. Here we have King Queen offsuit from the middle position. We bump this up, and we get a call from the button. And we go a multi-way. And we get the queen here, which is pretty nice. The only thing I don't love, of course, is that it's a paired board, 2 tens. So because of that, me being in the middle position in the multi-way pot, I do decide to check and not c-bet here. And it checks around now, and a 6 comes out. So now I'm feeling pretty good about my queen. Of course, I throw out a bet here, and we take it down. Here we get an open from the button, and I call with my King 6 offsuit. And we hit middle pair here. We check. Our opponent puts in about a 3/4 pot bet. Definitely going to call here. I mean, I'm definitely going to call here with these hands. In terms of like my overpairs I would have here, I really don't have any overpairs here, because more likely than not, I mean, we saw me flat 9s before, so sometimes I have 9s, sometimes I don't have 9s here. So, I mean, with middle pair out of position, I'm pretty sure that this is a call here on this particular board. Plus, this board is just so much better for my range than it is probably for his range as well. I'm going to, so that's why I think 6 is actually a good call here. I'm only going to be calling with 50% of my range, but I'm going to have raises here with like sets. I'm definitely be raising sets. I'll definitely be raising, my flush draws here. So calling a 6 here seems logical. Again, I'm going to have to take a look and see if this was the right play, but I'm pretty sure it is. Plus, it's all, it's a limp pot as well. I don't think I really want to fold my, I mean, it's not a limp pot, but it's, I don't know. Anyway, I just don't think I should be folding my 6 here, but I will double check. 10 comes out. Not a great card for me, of course. If he was on a flush draw, that completes the flush. The 10 is another card, another pair that beats my sixes. I check, he bets, easy fold. Excuse me. I just had dinner. That's why I'm just like a little right now. Here we have Ace King again from the small blind. And we get an open raise from a player who is super tight. This is definitely a nitty player, this player right here. Their stats are a VPIP of 16 and a PFR of 9, so through 195 hands. So they are definitely a very tight player. I thought this bet was really strange, though. Just a min raise out of middle position is a very strange raise. Of course, I'm going to 3-bet. And they just call. So I thought that was interesting. So they just call. So I'm not worried about hands like Jack Jack plus here. You know, as long as I pair the board, I feel like I'm probably in pretty good shape here. And we do pair the board. So this is definitely an easy C bet here. And I throw out a half pot bet. And, you know, we got a pretty with a rainbow board here. You know, we're kind of dominating this board for the most part. My only concern maybe is if they would have like, you know, some kind of like you know, maybe some kind of set. They call here, so the call, tight player. This player is folding to C bets 78% of the time, so they're folding to a lot of C bets here. So we could definitely put them on something like an ace there. You know, maybe they have a, you know, maybe they have a gut shot or something like that. You know, I wouldn't put them on sets, you know, like a set of eights, because a set of eights probably is going to raise here. So my best bet is they probably have a worse ace than a worse ace, and that's my, you know, I just hope they don't have ace jack. That'd be my concern here. Second ace comes out, which is really nice, of course. Definitely gonna double barrel this here. And if they raise, if he raises it here, again being such a tight player, then I could just always assume that he has ace jack, and I could probably actually fold his hand. Or even if they, you know, could have ace eight, but you know, for ace eight, there's really only one combo of ace eight suited, and ace eight suited is probably the only suited ace that he is going to be raising here. So that would be what? No, he can't even have ace eight suited because we have the ace of spades. So he definitely doesn't have ace eight suited. Ace jack suited is the only real possibility, and for that he would ace jack suited. That would just be hard. So just even one combo of that. So again, really not too worried. I wasn't even thinking about that when I was playing the hand, but I'm looking at that now, and that's one of the things I got to improve on. Is just, you know, doing this kind of analyzing while playing. But sometimes it's hard. But anyway, he doesn't raise. I mean, if he raises here, I think we could easily just get out of here. The queen, I did not love the queen at all. But I'm definitely going to triple barrel here on this board. I don't want to be in a situation where I check and then he puts out a big bet and I have to fold here. So I'd rather just bet here. And you know what? If he calls me and flips over ace queen, you know, so be it. Good job, nice hand. He calls, and we end up taking down the pot. So end up being a really nice pot here for ace king. So my guess here is that he probably has, like, you know, any kind of suited ace here is definitely what he has. Ace, you know, ace 10 is possible, and you know, ace any suited ace really. Not that there were many of them, of course. Yeah, only suited hearts. Here we have 5-4 offsuit from the big blind. Same tight player calls, opens up from the cutoff, and I call here with 5-4 to the min raise. This is just a pretty standard call here from the big blind. We don't really hit anything here, so we check, and he checks back, which is actually really great for us. 4 comes out, so this is definitely going to be a good pro bet to throw out there. Expecting this villain to fold. This board probably does not connect well with them at all if they don't have an overpair. And if they had an overpair, they would have definitely c-bet this. So definitely expect to take that down most of the time, and we did. And that's it. That was the last hand. So tell me what you guys thought about this video as opposed to me posting a session. I think I like this better personally, but you guys are the ones watching my videos, so your feedback is really what I find the most important. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm almost up to 100 subscribers, which is pretty incredible. I never thought I'd even get this high. So I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about improving on this month. It's been a terrible month, but I think it's possible we can do it. And yeah, if you like what you saw, do me a favor, please subscribe, click the like button, and until next time, Poker Dad out.